Welcome back. We continue live right here on Pittsburgh CW. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Bob Pompeani, Ron Cook at your service tonight. Give us a shout. 412-575-2600. You can also tweet us at KDPomp at Ron Cook PG. Ben Roethlisberger was today. Mike Tomlin revealed he has a broken finger on his non-throwing hand, but it should not affect his play. I was a little bit surprised that it was broken. I don't know, Ron, if he talked about that yesterday on your program at all, but we heard it was some sort of injury.
Well, it was today on our program, and
oh, it was today. Okay.
Before,
did he say it?
No, he never mentioned it. Before Tomlin mentioned it to us too, so we really didn't know about it. But he played the whole game on Sunday and played well in the fourth quarter. I don't think it's going to be a problem. If it was on his throwing hand, might be a little bit different. It was funny though. We talked to him today about the quarterback sneaks, and he said it's not quite as easy as it looks. You take a pretty good shot. He said it looked like the second one Sunday was worse than what it was, but you're sticking your head in there. You're going to take some shots, but he said it's what you got to do to get a 4th and 1.
No question about that, and you know, those are plays that are highly successful. They're also, if you're going to do what he did on that second one, you're going to maybe take a hit. Normally, if you just need, but you know, he didn't see anything there. He went to the right a little bit, and T.J. Carey came in and bumped him pretty good.
You know, I question whether to twice in 5 plays, that's what it was, in an October game against Cleveland.
Todd Haley.
You know, 4th down against Jacksonville in the playoff game. I understand it a little more. I think that's something you got to pick and choose with, because that's the last thing you do, need your quarterback to get a concussion from a quarterback sneak. And I think that's one reason Haley didn't like it.
Trade deadline is come and gone. Does that mean Le'Veon Bell will show up?
Tomorrow would be the day, I guess, but I've been wrong every single time. I've predicted he's going to come back. Now it might not be for 2 more weeks, and may not be at all. But I don't sense that the Steelers or the players are sitting around waiting. If he comes in, great. If not, they're comfortable with James Conner.
James Conner has made it a moot point for now, but, you know, again, to me, he's a high-paid insurance policy. I bring him back when he wants to be here. Whenever he does show up, fine. You'll make your money, but you're not going to start, at least not yet. Let's go to the lines. We got Tom in Duquesne. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Okay.
All right, go right ahead. You're on the air.
Okay. Let's talk about the Steelers. I hate to blow your bubble. There's some problems with this team inside. They've got some internal problems that nobody knows about.
Like what?
I thought that some of the changes, they had to make some changes during the offseason, because they always keep to this Steeler rule and everybody figures them out. So I think
I don't know.
Sure what
status being changed, and that includes the head coach.
Yep.
Wow.
There's a guy.
No, here we go again with the head coach stuff. And yet, if you look at Mike Tomlin's record and you look at what he's been able to do as the seasons go on, typically, you can have your say when it comes to postseason. Yeah, the record hasn't been good of late. But, man, the guy wins and gets you to positions to do that. And you can tell me all you want about, okay, he had Bill Cowher's players, because I hear that a lot here, too. He's a good head coach, and his teams get better as the seasons roll on, generally. And that's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just ridiculous you're put in a position to have to argue for him. He's won more games than anybody but Belichick since he entered the league. Now, I know 8-7 in the postseason. A lot of people don't think that's good enough. I think there have been some reasons for some of the losses. I mentioned the Tebow loss was just inexcusable to lose to that quarterback. And then the one last year at home to Jacksonville was really bad. But I think he gets fired tomorrow. He gets hired. Somebody else will fire their coach to hire him real quickly.
I agree. Were you surprised at both Haley
and
Jackson?
Yeah, I thought that I don't know how you can defend Hugh Jackson 336-1. I thought they'd fire him and keep Haley, even if you're going to make Greg Williams the interim coach, which they did. I was told by the Browns people Sunday that Mayfield had a real good relationship with Haley, and I think, don't you want to try to keep your quarterback happy, a young quarterback? But apparently they thought there was just so much internal bickering that they both had to go. I was surprised.
Today I heard the opposite. I heard Haley was going to be a detriment, and they wanted to keep him away from Baker Mayfield. So
well, maybe that's what they thought.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? And you wonder who actually hired him then. Was it Hugh Jackson, or was it somebody else? Was it the GM? Was it the owner who has ties to Pittsburgh? And it seems like everybody who gets discarded from Pittsburgh ends up in either Arizona or Cleveland.
Right.
Why?
Well, I mean, I don't know who hired Haley. If it was Dorsey, the GM, he got rid of them awfully quickly, didn't he? I mean, I don't think it was Jackson. Maybe it was the owner. Who knows?
Robert Kemble on Twitter, and you can reach us at KD Pomp and at Ron Cook PG. Robert says, hey guys, Matt Murray seems inconsistent. I'm wondering if he is overrated. I would say no to that. I think it's hard for him to keep up expectations, Robert, when you win 2 cups right off the bat before your rookie season is, technically over. And I saw a lot of good stuff from him on that road trip. I thought tonight, as Ron said, you can make a case, if you want to look strictly at numbers, Ron, you will see 4 goals on 7 shots, whatever it was, 9 shots. But if you look at all the plays, just like the one on DeSmith, the second one that was scored by Jordan Eberle, he had no chance.
That was the 10th shot. They had 5 goals on 10 shots. And I thought the goaltender had 0 chance on any of the 5.
How do you blame him?
So I think they made the change tonight to try to look for a spark. You heard coaches say that. Murray had 2 bad games to start the season. He got hurt. He came back. I thought he was brilliant on those first 3 games on the West Coast, and I'm not holding tonight against him. I'm not.
Me neither. It's too early to say anything like that. You wait till the season goes on anyway. John in Johnstown. What's up, John?
How you doing, Brother Bob and Cookie?
Hi, John.
First of all, brother, I'm tired of hearing about Le'Veon Bell. I would trade him right now and get rid of him.
Can't
do it now.
He's not a team player, brother.
But you can't. The trade deadline's
Right.
over.
He can't be traded. He going to only play for the Steelers this year or nobody?
Well, can't they just release him?
They could do that.
They could do that,
They
but
could
why
do
would
that
you
at
do
any
that?
time, but they're not going to let an asset go, I don't think, nor do they.
I think he's bad for the team, brother. James Conner's doing good, Brother Bob.
What happens, though,
Right.
if James Conner gets hurt?
Yeah, but I don't think he will. I think he's a good man. I like him.
Okay.
But
I like him too, but guys I like get hurt all the time.
Yeah, they're just going to see how it goes and figure it out as they go. Eric in the North Hills. What's up, Eric? How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I hear you guys defending Tomlin a lot when people call in on him. But the secondary, ever since Tomlin's been there, has been, like, mediocre. And they know they have problems with New England in the playoffs, and this year's going to be Kansas City. So
Right.
2 teams that they could have used a good corner against. They didn't do anything in the offseason, and there were corners out there then. And then the trade deadline has come and gone, and they didn't do anything again. And I heard today on the news that Tomlin still has faith in Artie Burns, and that guy gets burned a lot.
Well,
And I just wanted to get you guys
right.
take on it.
What is he supposed to do? Say Artie Burns stinks, I'm never going to play him again? You got to play him. He's a #1 pick, and he didn't play on Sunday because he was late for a walkthrough. I think he would have played, at least split with Sensabaugh, but he was punished for not showing up. And I don't know how. Talk about inexcusable. How about a guy in his position not showing up on time? You know, Jim Leland, one of the great people I've ever covered, always said he has 2 rules: show up on time and play hard. How hard is it to show up on time?
Or play hard.
I don't get that. Or play hard. Yeah, you can argue that they've not drafted cornerbacks well. Ed Bouchette did a story on this the other day. But yet you got to give him credit for finding a Mike Hilton, right? He was a free agent. Nobody wanted him. He was a little guy, and boy, man, he's played big, hasn't he?
He's been terrific, yeah. But I would have still tried to have acquired somebody else. That's
So
just
would
my
I.
take. We're
So
going
would
to take
I.
a break here. We have Mike in Bethel Park. We have Ann in Brighton Heights. You'll be first up when we come back right here on the Island Contracting Nightly Sports Call, Pittsburgh CW.